Great, we're live. Welcome to the Soul System Structure series. So, we are on part 5, and today we're going to be talking more about your true self and how to actually support, to create support systems that align with your true self. And especially if you feel mentally overwhelmed and you're spiraling in shame and self-doubt, this is just a symptom of not being in alignment and living in alignment with your true self. And there are systems that you have outgrown that are not supporting your true self, your true blueprint. And the secret is really, if you're here, is to actually focus on inner union. So what is inner union? It's actually accepting and working with what is true and alive within you right now as you are. It is actually not making whatever is within you wrong. It's actually asking the right questions that make you deepen your understanding of your motivations, your past choices, your past response to life or reaction to life. It's allowing your past self to create an intimate relationship with your most authentic self. So you're actually deepening your relationship with your inner world and not abandoning or creating a false self so that you don't actually look within. You're actually doing the opposite of that. And this is where you actually decode the purpose of your own suffering from. So I know when I was having these psychic attacks and I was experiencing my dark night of the soul, in that moment, I didn't have the luxury of reflecting on like, oh, why am I going through this? What is the purpose of this? The only energy I had was just doing the next practical next thing that I could do to bring healing into my body, into my mental body, so that I can actually align with this version of me who could now reflect on what was going on. So the next action was like, okay, thinking the next positive thought. It is going outside. It is speaking into my water, so that I support my physical body. It is listening to binaural beats. It is sleeping more. It is listening to affirmations that changed the way I think. It was just those tiny steps I had energy for. But once I was starting to feel lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and I had less negative momentum against me and my intentions, the more energy I had to sit with myself and check on the patterns that were reflecting through my past self. And of course, because of all the conditioning we've been given, and of course when we're plugging into social media and all these gurus, it's easy for us to compare ourselves with where they are and make our path wrong, which is the wrong way to do it, because that's just going to create more density and more it's going to slow down your becoming. So we want to pivot as much as we can and as quick as we can from these things that make us denser and make us slow us down. So the quickest way you can do that is actually knowing who your true self is without the noise. And we've done the foundation work for all of that in the previous videos. But it's always about coming full circle with it. No matter what negative experiences you've had, it's always coming back full circle with it. We usually don't do this when we're having a great time. But if you want to really anchor having a great time, it is also recommended to come full circle within yourself to reflect on what actually worked. What is it that actually made you have a great time? Was it the connection? What did it make you feel like it was a great time, right? It's actually having a more deepened understanding of your inner being, like what makes you tick, what makes you you. So what makes me have a good time is not going to look like what it's going to look for you and what is going to look for everybody else. And this is why it's not wise to copy and paste what works for other people in this area. Your blueprint is the only way you can actually liberate yourself from all the suffering. So coming full circle within is all about taking full responsibility for your energy, taking full responsibility for your intentions, taking full responsibility for what you associate yourself with. Yes, we're born into our bloodline. We were passed down these habits, these belief systems, these codings. But from a soul level, from your higher self, there's a purpose for that. And I'll go as far as to say that your soul chose your lineage for a reason. And it's your role to find out, to remember why you chose your lineage. Or maybe you'll never remember because that's part of the whole play. But it's actually owning to the fact that I have this much power and commitment to my life here on earth. I'm not going to be doing halfsies because I feel like a victim to my bloodline. I feel like a victim to my body. I didn't choose my body. It's actually reclaiming your story and saying, hey, I chose my body. There's a reason why I'm in this specific body. There's a reason why I was born through my specific parents. There's a reason why I'm the only one in my family who has an issue with these patterns that are happening and manifesting through our family line. There's a reason for all of that. So pay attention to the patterns that you are the most annoyed with, that you're falling victim to. And this is just an opportunity for you to transmute it. But how do you transmute that? It's in being in integrity with your soul blueprint, right? So being in integrity with your soul blueprint means that you're living in alignment with your most authentic self. You're not bypassing your most authentic self. You're not rejecting your most authentic self. You're not hating your most authentic self. And even when you are doing these things, it's actually saying, yes, this is where I'm at, and not creating more things that actually hurt you, that actually are not pouring into you, that are actually not helping you to become a healthier version of you. So once you start taking full responsibility for all of that, it becomes easier to work with all your four bodies. So I believe I mentioned the four bodies in the series. And if not, I have a couple videos on this channel that will help you understand better. I believe I made one AI video. You can go look for it if I don't link it below in this video. So once you start doing that, you understand the nuance of your four bodies and how they work together. And together they create your quantum embodiment, right? So quantum embodiment is where you actually start working at your highest expression, because it's not linear, it's quantum. It doesn't make sense. This is where you start tapping into your divine intelligence. This is when you start knowing, before you know it, this person is not good for me, or this job is not for me, or creating like this, no, this post is not for me. It's not in alignment with what I'm creating for my future self, right? So you're actually merging with reality on your own terms. You're not being a victim to it. You're not just being a passive participant. You're working with it. So you want to really pay attention to the relationship you have with where you hold your energy and where you flow with your energy. So this is what in popular culture is known as masculine energy and feminine energy. Your inner femininity and inner masculinity. These are just energy archetypes that create everything in nature. There's feminine energy and masculine energy. So masculine energy is what holds your energy, and feminine energy is what flows your energy through, right? So what are you holding in each moment? Pay attention to that. And how are you flowing with your energy? pay attention to that, because that will tell you everything you need to know about your current embodiment and where these patterns are manifesting through. Because if what you're holding is creating suffering, if how you're flowing is creating suffering, you're not in alignment with your true self. You're not in alignment with your soul blueprint. So you want to pay attention to the root of all of that, so that you can actually pivot and gain clarity on what will be the best support system to support where you are right now, where you authentically are right now, so that you can pivot as a natural way of being. So let's say you're sick with mental health issues, right? You're gonna create a lifestyle that helps you pivot from all the habits and actions that feed into your mental disease, because you're honoring the truth of your human being. You're not making your human being wrong. You're actually loving your most authentic self. So you're working with your weaknesses and creating a lifestyle that helps you pivot from those weaknesses, knowing the motivation, the emotional wounding that's causing you to do that. So connecting to your heart, to the truth of who you are, like what emotional blueprint is creating these patterns and these habits, will actually help you to really understand how to come in full union with your true self, in full union with your soul blueprint, because there are these stories that are preventing you from fully merging, and it's all tied into your emotional body, right? So the emotional body is one of the four bodies. Spiritual, mental, and physical are the other three. So once you really pay attention to your emotional body, like what's going on, when you're holding these your energy, right? Your energy in these four bodies. When you're holding your energy, when you're flowing with your energy in these four bodies, what is going on? What is going on here? Because here is the steering wheel. It's what influences your spiritual bodies, what influences your mental body, and what influences your physical body. It's all here, right? So pay attention to that. Let me know if you have any questions, and then I'll see you in the next part.